There is a weak version of you. It lives in the shadows of your mind, whispering that comfort is safer than challenge. It is the part of you that recoils from discomfort, that chooses the easy path, and that tells you to wait until tomorrow. This weak self hides from responsibility, surrenders to fear, and finds excuses for inaction. It is the voice that says, "Stay in bed, avoid the risk, don't try." But every time you listen, it grows stronger. Every time you avoid the hard thing, you feed the weakness within. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, saw this struggle as the true battle of life. He believed that our greatest task is to kill this weakness every single day and replace it with strength, virtue, and discipline. In his meditations, Marcus wrote not for the world, but for himself, reminding himself to rise above temptation, to endure pain, and to act with justice. This is not about violence against others. It is about the war within, the daily confrontation with your own lesser nature. The Stoics knew, if you cannot conquer yourself, the world will conquer you. The true enemy is not outside, but inside. Every day is a new chance to fight. Every act of discipline, every moment of courage is a small victory over the weak version of yourself. The battle is never over. But with each day you can choose to become stronger, to live with virtue, and to conquer the weakness within. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, ruled the vast Roman Empire at its height. From the marble halls of Rome to the distant frontiers, his word was law. Yet despite commanding legions and governing millions, his greatest battle was not against invading armies or rebellious provinces, but against the silent adversary within, his own mind. In the chaos of court and the noise of war, Marcus turned inward. Each morning he rose before dawn, struggling against the urge to remain in the comfort of his bed. He wrote in his meditations, not for the world, but as a private record of his daily fight to rise, to resist pleasure, and to endure pain. He confessed his struggles openly, the temptation to sleep late, the lure of comfort, the pain of duty. He wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I must go to work,' as a human being." Even as emperor, Marcus faced loneliness, betrayal, and the constant threat of war. But he saw weakness as an enemy that stalks us daily, an enemy more dangerous than any barbarian at the gates. In his writings, he often addressed himself as if speaking to a weaker double, urging himself to act with courage and discipline. He reminded himself that every day, the weak version must be confronted and overcome. Through discipline, reflection, and relentless honesty, Marcus Aurelius chose every day to kill the weakness within, and in doing so became the strongest version of himself. The Stoics taught that weakness is not an external enemy. It is the silent force within us all. It hides in our habits, our thoughts, and the choices we make when no one is watching. Sometimes, it is the voice that urges you to hit snooze, to skip the gym, to scroll endlessly instead of working on your dreams. Other times it whispers, "Stay comfortable, avoid risk, live small." It is the urge to choose comfort over challenge, distraction over discipline. Seneca described it clearly. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. He warned that fear of effort creates a prison of our own making. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that weakness is the refusal to take responsibility for your own mind. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In daily life, weakness looks like blaming others, procrastinating, or giving up when things get hard. It is the habit of letting your lesser self make decisions for you. To begin the Stoic path, you must first identify the weak version of yourself. Look honestly in the mirror. See the patterns that hold you back. Ask yourself, where do I make excuses? When do I avoid discomfort? What am I afraid to face? Write these answers down. Name your weaknesses. Only then can you begin the work of destroying them. The Stoics believed that once you see your weakness clearly, you can begin to choose differently. Every small act of courage, every moment you resist the easy path, is a step towards strength. The weak man within is not your fate. He is your opponent. See him, name him, and begin the daily battle to overcome him. For the Stoics, Life was not a single test, but a series of daily trials. Each morning they prepared themselves for the challenges ahead, knowing that every day was a chance to become stronger. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings in quiet reflection, writing in his journal, reminding himself to meet hardship with reason and patience. Epictetus, once a slave, trained his endurance by accepting discomfort, walking with a limp, braving cold, and practicing self-control in every word and action. Seneca rehearsed poverty, spending days with the bare minimum, reminding himself that true wealth is freedom from fear and desire. The Stoics believed that weakness dies through action, not words. Every day they sought out small challenges, rising before dawn, taking cold baths, fasting, or choosing silence over argument. In the modern world, this might mean turning off your phone to focus, choosing a difficult workout, or speaking honestly when it is uncomfortable. Each time you rise early, each time you do the hard thing, each time you embrace discomfort, you're training yourself to be unbreakable. The weak version of you is slain, not in a single moment, but in the repetition of these daily victories. And in its place, the stronger self is born, one action at a time. Weakness thrives in comfort. It grows in the soft spaces of our lives, on the couch, in the warmth, in the routines that never challenge us. That is why the Stoics deliberately sought out hardship. Cato walked barefoot through Rome, indifferent to pain and mockery, training himself against public shame. Epictetus, born a slave, endured physical hardship every day, using adversity as his teacher. Seneca, one of Rome's richest men, would sleep on the floor and eat the simplest food, reminding himself that he could survive anything. Marcus Aurelius endured war, plague, and betrayal, reminding himself, if it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. Today we can follow their example. Discomfort is not punishment, it is a weapon. Each time you choose the harder path, you sharpen your mind and body. For us, this means stepping into discomfort willingly. Fasting, cold exposure, physical training, difficult conversations, and facing our fears head-on. Every time you do what is hard, wake up early, push through a tough workout, speak your truth, you cut away a piece of the weaker self. Growth never happens in comfort. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of discomfort. So seek out discomfort. Use it as your weapon. Every challenge you face is a chance to become stronger, braver, and more free. The Stoics believed that all of life is preparation for death. Time slips through our fingers, each moment a grain of sand falling in the hourglass. Each day the Stoic wakes and asks, if this were my last sunrise, would I be ready? Would I have lived with courage, with virtue, with acceptance? Seneca wrote, let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Balance the books each day. For the Stoics, to meditate on death was not morbid but liberating. It was a daily reminder to live fully, to let go of petty fears and attachments. He who has learned how to die has unlearned how to be a slave. When you accept mortality, you are no longer chained by fear. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. The man who is unafraid of death cannot be controlled by threats, cannot be broken by loss, cannot be manipulated by desire. He is free. This is the final battle. To meet death not with terror, but with acceptance. To greet the end as a friend, not an enemy. And in that acceptance, to find the ultimate victory of the Stoic spirit. So how do we kill the weak version of ourselves? The answer is not found in a single act, but in a series of daily choices. Rise each day to discipline, not laziness. Make your bed, move your body, and set your intentions before the world sets them for you. Choose discomfort, not comfort. Take the cold shower, speak the truth, do the thing you fear. Growth lives just beyond the edge of comfort. Act with courage, not fear. Seneca faced exile, Epictetus endured slavery, and Marcus Aurelius ruled through plague and war. Each chose action over avoidance. Remember death and waste no time. Memento mori, let the awareness of mortality sharpen your focus and urgency. This is not a one-time act, but a lifelong battle. Each morning, the weak version of you rises. Each day, you must kill him again. Transformation is slow, but visible. Track your progress. Celebrate small victories. Each act of discipline, each moment of courage, forges a stronger self. Marcus Aurelius did this as emperor. Epictetus did it as a slave. Modern men and women do it in gyms, offices, and homes, wherever weakness appears. Their message is the same. Weakness dies only when you act with strength. The stronger self is not given, it is built, one choice at a time. The choice stands before you every single day. Will you choose the path of comfort or the path of growth? The easy excuse or the hard discipline? Every moment you decide to remain the weak version of yourself or to rise as the strong. The Stoics chose strength, even when it was hard. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal and loss, yet chose virtue. Epictetus, born a slave, chose freedom of mind. You too can choose to kill the weak version of yourself by taking action, by facing discomfort, by refusing to surrender to fear. Each time you choose courage over comfort, you become stronger. Each time you act with discipline, you move closer to mastery. And you will discover, as Marcus Aurelius did, that no power on earth is greater than self-mastery. If you wish to continue this path, watch my video on how the Stoics made themselves untouchable in a weak modern world. Subscribe for more wisdom and strength. And remember, the first battle is always within. Choose strength. Choose action. Become the master of yourself.